Everyone laughed at him. That's how it began. A crowded park on a breezy Saturday afternoon, parents gathered for the annual community fair, and kids lining up for the archery booth. Among them stood a man who seemed out of place, an exhausted, rugged-looking single dad, wearing a faded jacket and holding the hand of his little daughter. He looked like he had walked straight out of a different time, a little too quiet, a little too distant, someone the crowd overlooked or smirked at. They didn't know his story. They only saw what they wanted, a struggling veteran, a man past his prime. But what they didn't know was that the same man they mocked was once an archery champion. His daughter tugged at his sleeve, pointing at the long line of kids waiting to try their luck at the booth. "Daddy, can we try?" Her voice was filled with hope, but her eyes were nervous. She had been bullied at school, whispered about for not having a mother, and she knew how cruel people could be. Her dad knelt to her level, looked into her eyes, and smiled. "Sweetheart, sometimes the world underestimates people like us. Today, let's show them who we are." As they stepped into the line, a few parents chuckled. One man leaned toward his wife and whispered loudly enough to be heard, "Look at him. He probably can't even pull the string back." Another laughed, "Maybe he thinks he's Robin Hood." The comments rolled around, and though his daughter's head dropped in embarrassment, the veteran remained calm. He had heard worse. The war had carved scars on his soul, but it had also given him patience. He squeezed his daughter's hand gently, reminding her without words that they didn't need approval. When it was finally his turn, the volunteer manning the booth looked skeptical. "You know this is for fun, right?" he said mockingly. The veteran only nodded and accepted the bow. As soon as his fingers touched the string, something shifted. The years melted away, and he was no longer the tired single dad that people saw. He was once again the young soldier who had trained in archery as both discipline and survival, the man who had competed and won championships before life had taken everything from him. The first arrow flew. Thud. Dead center. The laughter stopped. He didn't pause. Another arrow. Another bullseye. And another. Within moments, the entire crowd had gone silent. Parents who had mocked him now leaned forward in awe. Children's eyes widened. His daughter, once hiding behind his leg, now stepped forward, her face glowing with pride as she watched her father transform in front of everyone. By the time his final arrow split directly through the center of the last one, the silence turned into stunned applause. And then, from the crowd, someone unexpected stepped forward. A woman in a sharp suit, confident and elegant, someone people instantly recognized. She was the CEO of a major sports company sponsoring the event. She had been watching quietly from the back, her eyes locked on the veteran. The moment his last arrow landed, she froze, her expression unreadable. Then, with a mix of admiration and disbelief, she said, "Where did you learn to shoot like that?" The veteran gave a small smile. "A lifetime ago." The crowd leaned in, waiting. The CEO wasn't just impressed, she was captivated. She saw something others didn't: discipline, precision, strength wrapped in humility. "We're starting a youth archery program," she said after a pause. "We've been searching for someone with real skill and heart to lead it. Would you consider it?" His daughter gasped, her tiny hand clutching his sleeve again, this time out of excitement rather than fear. The veteran looked at her, then back at the CEO. "If it means teaching kids not just archery, but resilience, I'd be honored." The crowd erupted into cheers, but for him, it wasn't about proving anyone wrong anymore. It was about showing his daughter that even when the world doubts you, your true worth will always shine through if you hold on to it. That day changed everything. He walked in as the man people laughed at and walked out as the man they admired. But more importantly, his daughter walked taller, prouder, knowing her father was not just her hero, but someone who carried greatness quietly until the right moment revealed it. Viewers, if you've stayed until now, ask yourself, how many times have you judged someone too quickly, not knowing the battles they've fought or the talents they hide? Never underestimate the quiet ones, because sometimes, they are carrying the kind of strength that changes lives. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Because stories like this remind us that no matter what life throws at you, your moment will come, and when it does, the world will never laugh again.